What's up, everybody? It's Brian from USA.Patriot.Cards on Instagram and also here on YouTube. I probably normally would have tried that intro again, but I don't think you care and I don't care myself. So let's jump right into this. One of these boxes is a very special, super special card that I've been waiting on for about a week, and the other one is something that I don't know what it is. I forgot. Has that ever happened to you? You guys forget what you have coming? I'm sure in my lifetime of purchases and whatnot that I've purchased something or traded for something and just totally forgot about it, and it's never come. I know that's had to happen at least once. Typically I take pictures of things I buy on YouTube or things I trade or whatever that I know are going to be shipped to me. That way I can go back and you know, kind of yeah, I know what this is. That way I can kind of go back and keep track. Okay, so my last video I talked a little bit about sort of going back into my childhood and grabbing stuff that I definitely could not have owned back then. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done that. I've done it on a here and there scale, but I think lately I've actually tried to go and target some of the cards that I really want from the 80s. And I talked about the Tiffany set that Topps and Tiffany produced together. And the Tiffany set ran from 83 to, I believe, either 90 or 89. But the 83, 84, and 85, I'm sorry, maybe it's 84. I should have checked. I think it was 80. I think this might be the first Tiffany set. It's either this or 83. Regardless, the first 4 or 5 Tiffany sets were all limited to 5,000 or less. And they did the main set for that year, and then they also did the traded sets. So this particular card here is the 84 Topps Tiffany Don Mattingly rookie. You just didn't see these when you were a kid. When I was a kid, people had the normal Topps rookie, and that was a great card back then. But if you had a Tiffany Mattingly rookie, you were like way out there. You were not running in the circles I was running in. Normally it was the adults that had these, and typically you'd only have these if you somehow bought the whole set. I mean, eBay wasn't around back then. You couldn't just like go on the internet and fire up a Topps Tiffany Mattingly and have it here in a week. You had to either have a card store local or card shows here and there, twice a summer maybe. Sometimes you'd have the pop-up little card shows in the malls, but it was typically 1 or 2 dealers that got together and put some cards out. It wasn't anything like the card shows are today. But yeah, for you to have this card back then, you typically had the entire set, and people would pull out the good rookies and put them in the sleeves back then. I think they had top loaders when I was a kid. I honestly don't remember. I just remember having a notebook and you know, the sheets that you had 9 cards, and I would double both sides. I'd put a card facing this side, and in that same sheet, when you turned it over, there'd be another card. So I maximized my sheet space, and I'd carry my notebook around everywhere I went. Everywhere. If I was going to the bathroom, my notebook typically would come with me, and I'd just sit and flip through it. Now, you know, my phone comes with me, and I look at sports cards on the toilet with my phone. But yeah, sports cards always have been a passion of mine. I've always loved them. I saw something on Instagram today. Somebody went around asking people if somebody offered you $1 million to leave this hobby. You could never talk about sports cards, have a sports card. I think like that included to get rid of your sports cards. I don't know. That might not have been part of the proposition. But let's say somebody cashed you out at 70% of your entire collection, and you got that money. And then on top of that money, somebody offered you $1 million in cash to never talk about, never see, never hold a sports card. You could talk about sports all you want. I'm sure you could talk about sports memorabilia, but no more cards. Would you take that money? I don't know if I would. The guys that I saw on Instagram were like, no, I'd rather have the hobby. And I think I'd feel that way because I'd get that $1 million and I'd want to buy cards with it, and I wouldn't be able to. So anyway, that's a long way to say I'm glad I got this 84 Topps Don Mattingly. If you don't remember Don Mattingly, he was a beast.
Right field, way back, saved bye-bye, and good night. The Yankees win it. Don Mattingly, 3-run, 2-out, ninth-inning home run for a 9-8 victory.
And so on to the next package. Now this is from Alt. And Alt is the great equalizer, and I'll tell you why. If you don't use Alt for checking comps, you're missing out. It's super easy. All you need is a picture of the graded card that you want to check comps on. You go to their app, you bring up the picture, and it spits out latest sales, and it includes auction houses. It includes a somewhat accurate pop count from PSA and BGS, but it's great for that. Also sells cards buy it now style, and then they do auctions. This is where I got what's inside this box, is from an auction. Pardon me. Now, alt auctions are great for buying cards. Alt auctions are killers for selling cards. And the comps on alt auctions are typically 20, 40% sometimes lower than other comps, especially buy it now comps, and I'll tell you why. Alt is the only platform in existence right now that you have to have cash 100% on the alt platform in order to bid on and win the card. Now, I think if you're a big time like spender, somehow you can get to a level where they'll increase your cash by up to 3 times. So let's say you have $10,000 on the alt platform, they'll give you $30,000 in credits to bid on auctions. But for guys like me, you have to have that money in the alt platform before you can bid it. And so once you make a bid, if that's the winning bid, there's no non-payments. It's handled right then and there. You can consider the card purchased because that money's coming out of your bank. And that card, if you pay for shipping, and on this one it was like $20, $25, will be headed to your house. You can also vault at alt, so you can leave your stuff there. I'm making way too long of a video about this mail day, but let me show you how the cards from alt come. Okay, so there's a little magnetic. These are pretty cool boxes. There's a little magnetic deal here, so you can pop that open, and then boom! What you're about to see is a blue Bowman first Bobby Witt Jr. So gorgeous. Refractor, Gem Mint 10, rookie auto. So there aren't comps, but I heard from some very trustworthy sources that at the Vegas show, right at the beginning of the MLB season, these PSA 10 blue Bobby Witts were doing $19K. Of course, oops, that's a Beckett sleeve. Of course, all cards are down. And then you couple that with this being an alt auction, And you can guess that I paid nowhere near $19K for this. I'll let you go look and see if you're interested. And that way, if you haven't used Alt and you're curious on what I paid for this, you can go check it out. Just snap a picture right here and then go pop that in the search engine and it'll tell you what I paid. Let's just say I got a massive steal on it. Now, the next one of these that comes to auction is probably gonna, make my deal look not bad, because gosh, I would hate to think that there's much further that these can drop. I mean, I got a great deal on it. I paid about half of what I was willing to trade into one of these at the Dallas show. There was one guy that had a table that had 2 or 3 of these blue PSA 10s. No other table at the Dallas show, which is a big show, had any blue Bobby Witt Bowman First Auto PSA 10s. There were a couple BGS 95s. Matter of fact, I traded for one. So I do have this in a BGS 95. But there was only one guy. He had 2 or 3 of these, and he wanted 12K. So, and I think that at that time, the comp that I was hoping to trade around was 10.9. So this found its forever home. I love Bobby Witt Jr. He's from my hometown. He just exudes me as a kid. I mean, he reminds me of my son. I have a 14-year-old son that loves baseball, plays it. I coach his travel team. Matter of fact, we played a tournament a couple weeks ago on Bobby Witt Jr.'s high school field, Colleyville Heritage, near BWjr Airport. So, but I love Bobby Witt Jr., always will. I haven't had a crush on a player like this since Dwight Gooden, and I really mean that. I'm going to be a super collector of Bobby Witt, so it would stand that I would need a color-matched First Bowman PSA 10, right?
And that's hit well. Deep left center field. Gone for his first big league home run.
Look at his teammates. Look at his smile. He has hit himself a big league tater. That's beautiful.
Anyway, love this card. Love this hobby. 2 great baseball cards. Every time baseball season's going, I think, you know what? I just love baseball cards. Like, I've always loved baseball cards. It's kind of where I got my start. Maybe I'm more partial to baseball cards. And then right about that time, I start thinking that here comes football season. And then I'm like, oh no. Football cards are crack. Football season is crack.
Go, go!
Down the middle. It's Hill in the open. Cuts it upfield. He might be gone. He is. Kansas City takes the lead with a minute to go from 64.
This is apple pie and ice cream and hot dogs and shit. Football season, football cards, whole nother level. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Use Alt. Go check it out. Save up some cash. Put it on the platform. And I think on Thursday nights, pretty early, maybe 6 to 8 Central, they do their weekly auctions. A lot of it's high-end stuff, but you can find some cool, smaller-end stuff as well. So, yeah, subscribe, like. I'll be making more content. I'm going to try to make a couple videos a week, just interacting with my collection, because, man, I got so much great stuff, and it's just either on shelves in my office or in my briefcases or in my white boxes on the floor. So I don't know how it's going to look. But I'm going to continue to make content, if for no other reason. I like doing it. And I know my one friend Josh watches all my videos. Shout out, Josh. So anyway, thanks, guys. We'll see you around, and take care.